Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Bits episode. You join me at the track with the Lightship RV, a Cybertruck, and one of my favorite people in the world, Maryann.
Oh, it's great to be here today.
So this is your Cybertruck.
It is. I think even Don would admit that it's my Cybertruck.
And for those of you who don't know, Maryann has a great YouTube channel that's documented her electric vehicle journey for almost the past 10 years. We're rolling up on 7, 8 years.
2017 June is when I started. So
wow.
Ruby's coming up on 9 in June the 14th.
So Maryann and I have known each other for that time and more, and actually inspired the creation for Out of Spec, I think it's fair to say. So yeah, we go back a long ways.
Yeah.
And today we're doing something really cool because we have the first ever press review unit of the Lightship RV. We are the first outlet they've ever sort of loaned it to just do our thing with it. And we're going to tow it for the first time with this unit.
I'm excited to tow it with the Cybertruck. For our first towing experience with the Cybertruck is only a few weeks old. It's coming up on 1,000 miles. And the last time we towed with Kyle.
That's right, and that was 7 years ago.
We towed a smart car. Surprise, surprise.
So I have a video already on the Out of Spec Reviews channel towing a Lightship RV for the first time with that exact Rivian in Colorado. Alex, you can show the viewers there. That's a dual motor max pack. And actually throughout the coverage over the next week of testing that we have this unit, I'll be using that truck. Maryann's kindly lending her Cybertruck to us to do some tow testing as well for the next few days. And we're really going to demystify what Lightship RV is all about. I guess briefly, Maryann, this is a $180,000 as it sits towable RV, so very expensive unit, but it's got some cool things. It has a 77 kilowatt hour battery pack in the middle. It has an electric motor that powers the rear axle.
Okay.
And it's a permanent magnet 3-in-1, so inverter, gear reduction, and motor all in one on that rear axle. I believe they're Lippert axles with a little bit of modification that Lippert does for that rear unit. And it weighs about 7,000-ish pounds.
Okay.
It's pretty empty right now. We're going to be doing range testing with this. We're going to be looking at efficiency on many different vehicles, of course, including Cybertruck. But it all starts with the first drive.
All right.
And that's what we're going to be doing now. So I guess to show everyone how it works, I don't know if you've seen this yet. The way that this communicates with the Cybertruck is really interesting because it actually doesn't talk to the truck at all to help with its EV systems. It uses these two, Alex, if you come on in here, it uses these two force sensors, those pins right there. And with the TrekDrive system enabled, the Lightship RV essentially tries to have no drag on the trailer hitch. So it's never going to push the truck because it could get unstable.
Sure.
But it's just going to basically lessen the drag to as little as possible.
Pretty cool tech.
It's cool. So that means if the truck regens, this will regen and pull itself back. If we accelerate, this will accelerate just a little bit less than the truck is doing. So I've experienced it before. I've towed it sort of just on some surface level streets in Colorado. This was 6 months ago, something like that. And it was a truly magical experience. And the one thing Cybertruck is really good at, which no one gives it the credit it deserves, is this is a great towing vehicle. Truly great towing vehicle. It has those big air suspension bags in the back. I've put 11, 12,000 pounds on the back of my old Cybertruck. Couldn't tell whatsoever.
Wow.
It's amazing. The efficiency, of course, goes down when you're dragging stuff. But with this, it won't. At least until the Lightship runs out of battery.
Okay.
So, I guess we're going to do it. Thanks so much for letting us come and use your truck. And your truck, we should just mention for the viewers at home, this is a dual motor.
It is. It's the original version, not one of the recently released decontented versions.
That's right. So I guess they call it the premium all-wheel drive.
Premium now. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for helping me out with that word. Yeah.
So premium all-wheel drive, dual motor, 124 kilowatt hour battery pack. We're at 70-something% state of charge. We're going to take this probably out for a lap of the track to start.
Okay.
Make sure we're all hooked up. Then we'll jump on surface streets and we'll take it on the highway for the first time. The TrekDrive should work to around 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
And I believe it cuts off after that, but I want to feel that cutoff because
Sure.
we're going to be towing this thing all around the state over the next few days with that Rivian. So there we go. Let's go tow it.
Exciting.
So Don, what we're looking at here is Maryann's Cybertruck.
That's correct.
It's not yours, apparently.
No, that's right. She was all in. She was the one who was prodding me to get it. That's right.
But what do you think of it so far?
I actually am surprised how much I've enjoyed having it. It has really surprised me in every possible way. Going down the road, it is super quiet, super smooth. I mean, this is a truck. How does this get to be a truck? It doesn't feel like a truck. It feels like a luxury car or whatever. I mean, the ride is just phenomenal.
It's amazing. And it has FSD, which is
And it has FSD. Oh, yeah. And then that all-wheel steering and drive-by-wire, that just blows my mind every time.
It's so cool. You know, I haven't had my Cybertruck for some time now, and I guess it's been about a year since I got rid of it almost, and I really miss it. I get in them from time to time, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how we hitched up the trailer, because obviously the truck's awesome. What I'm curious about is how the Lightship interfaces with the Cybertruck.
Sure.
I've only ever towed this with a Rivian before.
Okay.
And the Cybertruck is just a real substantial package, even more so. The Rivian's a great towing vehicle.
Okay.
It has the air suspension and hydraulic to offset a lot of things.
Yep.
This has similar,
Yep.
you know, adaptive damper, big airbag. And we only really have 600-700 pounds of tongue weight on the truck. It's not much at all.
Okay.
But Alex, if you come in here, we'll just show everyone. It has a typical 2 5/16 ball on this. We're using a case weight distribution hitch, but we actually don't have the weight distribution hooked up.
Right.
It's not really needed. It's an unloaded trailer. Maybe if we fill the tanks all the way and load this thing up, might be a good idea just to do that. But with Cybertruck, you can. It's fine. There's a lot of people think Cybertruck can't tow because of the rear casting, but it's a great towing vehicle.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people would think that, but
You know, it comes with a 2.5-inch receiver. Somebody must have, and I happen to know engineers pretty well, and they don't tend to put stuff on there that doesn't actually belong there.
that's right. It's a great towing vehicle. So we've got the chains hooked up, our breakaway hooked up, and our lights hooked up. I think really the next thing to do is to get out, drive it around without the TrekDrive system on.
Okay.
And so just drag it and see how it feels as a normal trailer.
All right.
Then we'll kick TrekDrive on where it compensates for its drag.
Okay.
And see how that feels with this.
That's what I'm really interested in is that the fact that it tries to keep no load, zero load on the hitch.
Yeah.
As it pulls it, as the Cybertruck pulls the trailer, the motor eDrive kicks in and pushes the trailer, drives the trailer.
So the eDrive's on the rear axle.
Okay.
And it's a permanent magnet motor, but no clutch disconnect. They actually have a set of contactors that turn it on or off.
Okay.
So they electrically disconnect the motor, which means the inverter always has a voltage when you're towing.
Okay.
I probably would have done a clutch connect or disconnect, but maybe the electrical disconnection's fine and the components can handle it. My understanding is that above 70 miles an hour, this system will disconnect.
Oh. Yeah, because that's quite a bit of EMF there.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you get rid of the load on that.
Exactly, because you're really spinning. So I'm curious to see what it's going to feel like when we have it connected and we push through 70.
Okay.
If it's going to do anything weird, because if you're coming in with some load, I mean, that's probably a 20 kilowatt consistent load motor on the back to offset the drag.
Yep.
And you just break that away, it could do some weird stuff. So I'm really curious to see how they do their tuning.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to find out in this video.
Yep.
Jump in Maryann's Cybertruck.
Maryann's Cybertruck, that's right.
And go for a drive.
Yep.
So let's go do it. Should be fun.
Sounds good.
So let's talk about settings on the truck. From a Lightship perspective, when you tow with a new vehicle, what do you want your customers to set the brake gain to? Typically you would go 5 middle and then adjust from there. Is that the same with yours?
I do the same. Yeah. And I mean, you know, you can test it at 20 and make sure that the trailer tires don't lock up.
Yeah, whatever that. And then
it seems it's definitely different truck model to truck model what the gain should be. So you kind of have to do it by feel.
So we'll start at 5 and see how that feels.
Yep.
And then you can rock this switch on the Cybertruck to the right to manually engage the trailer brakes. The trailer brake boost, I'm going to put in the middle.
Yeah.
And this is sort of the ramp speed, is my understanding, to where it gets to the preset gain.
Yep.
but I don't know if that's ever been fully explained before. I did a ton of towing with Cybertruck, and I always just left it in the middle and was pleasantly surprised with how it did, and it was always very good. So hoping that kind of stays the same. Yeah.
As you're testing it out.
Yeah, we'll play around with it. Then we have adaptive regenerative braking, which is something the Cybertruck can do, which is there's headroom in its regen capability, and it will offset for the trailer load. Now, the trailer is going to be regenning as the truck is regenning, so that's going to be a really interesting thing to see how that all plays around with the adaptive regen. It might turn out where that messes some things up, but we will see. Right scroll wheel to trailer brake for sure. And I do like that Tesla includes the trailer alarm, so that if you're parked at a supercharger or parked at a lot, someone, unhooks your trailer by pulling the 7-pin, it will alert your app and let you know.
Nice.
Yeah, send the alarm. So we've got that going. We've got trailer mode on. Of course, you can put in all of the information for a type of trailer that you're towing. What is the weight of the trailer as it's on the truck right now?
It's probably just shy of like 7,500 pounds, maybe 74.
So maybe we'll just go into, well, I guess it'll figure it out.
Yeah, be interesting to see how close it is.
Yeah, let's reset. This truck's never towed.
Yeah.
So then in terms of dynamics, we'll keep it in, I'll just go custom mode really quick. Preferred ride height lower sounds good for this.
You may want a stiffer ride. Yeah, because it bounces a lot otherwise.
Smart. And auto lower, I'm just going to turn off just in case it doesn't do that. It should cancel when you're in tow mode. Yeah, features disabled in off-road mode, but I assume, in towing. So, okay, y'all ready?
We are.
In terms of the setup on the Lightship, can we pull up the tablet really quick and just see what the stats are? Because we have TrekDrive off at the moment, right?
It is off. Let's make sure that the app is actually connected as well. Sometimes it doesn't know that it's not connected. Yeah, so there you go.
So refresh connection.
This is an especially tough vehicle to get a connection into because the whole thing is like a Faraday cage.
Interesting.
But I was able to.
We could always crack the windows too.
He was able to achieve it earlier.
But we're at what percent? About 85% state of charge?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay. And then what we're able to do is we'll drive it with the TrekDrive off for now.
Yeah.
But when we do want to put it in TrekDrive, can we show them what that looks like?
Sure. We're in storage mode right now, which is effectively idle. And what we'll do is go to road mode. And when we do that, you'll see a little insignia appear in the corner here that says TrekDrive active.
And that's it?
Yeah. And then you'll be able to watch the power come out of the battery.
So let's take a look at stability and feel of this thing with the systems off for now. And then we will... then we'll turn it on. To turn it on, we have to be stopped, right? Okay.
Yep.
So off we go, towing the Lightship. I guess I could put the cameras on like this so you guys can monitor what it looks like as we cruise. Oh, this truck and that trailer are such a cool combination.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, one of our first customers is
doing that combo. Yeah, awesome.
I think he got a great one as well.
Yeah, trailer brakes don't feel all that strong at 5 miles an hour, but we'll just go up to 6 for now and play around with it.
Right.
Well, it's time to head out onto the open road with the Lightship in tow. This will blow everyone's mind in the Northeast North Carolina area that we live in, seeing this combination. It's one thing in Denver, we're like, yeah, there's cool stuff around Colorado. And I remember the looks we got when we towed with the Rivian last time.
Yeah.
A Cybertruck here is already like, what is that spacecraft? Then you put a literal spacecraft on the back and it gets real wild. So off we go out of the gate onto the roads. And again, right now we're treating this unit as if it's just a normal passive tow rig. We have no driveline enabled. We're just getting a sense of the stability. Then we'll kick on the assistance features from the electric motor on the unit and get a sense for how it feels. But for now, we'll make sure we're all dialed in. Truck and trailer aren't doing anything weird. Then we'll play around with the extra dimension of that electric motor. So Maryann, I think what we're gonna do is take the crazy space contraption to the Halifax supercharger, which is one of the nicest superchargers in the entire country. It just happens to also be here by us, which we're super lucky to have that facility to do all of our testing out of and many other programs. And we'll go take a picture because it has a dedicated trailer pull-through spot.
It does.
Yes, so we'll head down there, and I guess the biggest thing I'm going to look for on the way down is the stability of towing at highway speeds. We'll probably start at 65, hit 70. If we feel good, I'd like to at least get it up to the speed limit of 75. Make sure we're good for the week of towing this thing around the state. And then on the way back, we'll enable TrekDrive and play around with all of the sort of magical electric motor stuff happening on the trailer on the backside. So let's get it up to speed. Let's see how it feels. Here we're already up to 50 miles an hour. I'm just being extra gentle on it. And it brings up an interesting point that towing with Cybertruck is actually more difficult than towing with a traditional vehicle. The reason is the steer-by-wire does not change its ratio when you have a trailer on the back. And you essentially have to be really careful with your steering inputs when you have a trailer. Everything has to be super light. And you're just driving by pressure, essentially. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're ever going to tow with a Cybertruck out there. Here you can see Alex and Nathan in the Rivian, just getting some videos and photos of us. But here at 65 miles an hour, I'm comfortable. It's a very windy day out there today, and we're tracking straight and true. It feels awesome to cruise around in. And we're just going to hit 65, get on the other side of town, and then start bumping up the speed. But for now, this is towing like a dream. Everything I could ask for, really. A little bit of wind gusts from time to time. Nothing unusual from towing or when you're driving such a large slab-sided vehicle like this one here. This is all as expected. Very smooth over this pavement. One of the benefits of having the Lightship here at home in North Carolina is that on our roads, I literally drive this section of road every day. I know what those bumps feel like in hundreds of vehicles. And so to be able to evaluate this on my local roads really, I think, helps me say, yes, this is good, no, it's not. And the initial impression is this combination of truck and trailer set up the way we are now, uber comfortable initially right off the bat. Really awesome. And a lot of that praise goes to the Cybertruck and of course the weight balance of the Lightship in conjunction with it. So all around, I'm very pleased initially. We'll start bumping up the speed to, I don't know, around 70 miles an hour or so now, and we'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Maryann, how does the feel from the back seat? From here, it feels awesome.
It's great. I'm totally comfortable. Both from the fact that you're, towing all that weight behind. Just once or twice caught a little wind, but very comfortable.
Yeah, you'll feel as cars come by, it'll push you over. That's very common when you have a sort of utility or flat-sided trailer. I think we should bring the speeds up a little bit, just to around 75 miles an hour. Just to make sure that it can handle. I don't plan on towing faster than 75 miles an hour with really any trailer. You obviously you have an exponential increase of air resistance and just problems that can occur at high speed, but you might need to bump it up here to cruise on our highways. It's a pretty normal speed, and I gotta say, it actually feels even better at 75 than at 70 right now. So we'll see how that plays with multiple vehicles, but here cruising along, we've actually got a whole truck next to us that you'll see coming up, a transport vehicle. I'm feeling totally secure, totally stable. He'll sort of suck us in, then they'll build up an air bubble and push us away, and that's some of the natural tendencies when towing big equipment. But we're doing 74, 75 miles an hour with a big vehicle next to us, steady as could be. You just always have to remember that with Cyber, you're just driving with pressure, not with steering input. This could actually get quite a few people in trouble, and I hope Tesla can alter the ratio when you have a trailer on to just back off on the highway a bit. That's my one thing I wish they could do. But we have reached our exit here at the Halifax supercharger. So we're going to regen as we come off, use some of that adaptive regen performance. It really scrubs the speed. That is using no trailer brake, no trailer help, and Cybertruck just has an insane amount of regen with that adaptive regen setting on. We're going to bring it over to the pull-through stall not that we need to charge, get some photos, and then enable TrekDrive.
I was saying to you off camera, Kyle, that the Cybertruck has the most aggressive regen profile of any of the many trucks that we've tested.
Mm-hmm. And I guess what type of, when you calibrate to like a common vehicle with this, obviously you're going to tow with Cybertrucks and Silverado EVs and stuff. What does that process look like from your engineers?
Well, typically the thing that they've watched for is the regen performance and the brake signal, because again, all of the Detroit manufacturers, I'm told, supply roughly the same brake signal profile or algorithm to the trailer. Tesla is a bit different, so they'll do a series of laps around our R&D office and first just make sure it's functional and we're not, for instance, tripping the system off sort of involuntarily. And we did have to do some tuning over time to make sure that we were capturing the different behaviors of every truck out there. And then we would start to tune our controls parameters, the torque that we apply from the motor based on the force that we see at the hitch, to again kind of best fit the different powertrain profiles of the different trucks that are out there.
So this is going to be really interesting to see our consumption on the way here. 834 watt-hour per mile. Keep in mind, a lot of that was actually stationary with AC running. It's not a scientific test.
Right.
At 10 miles this way, we'll kick TrekDrive on for the way back. And let's see how that turns out to be. Again, we'll do the scientific testing later this week, but it'll be a good difference. So let's plug it in, get some photos, and it should be kind of fun. It's pretty windy out here, but here we have the Lightship and the Cybertruck plugged in at the Halifax, North Carolina supercharger. I use this all the time while towing because it's just so easy to pull right through and get the truck and trailer charging. Now the trailer can DC fast charge through an over-the-air software update coming later this year, they claim. Of course, it's not real until it's real. Of course, the unit is on sale, but right now it's limited to just AC charging. Otherwise, this would be a great use case to add another supercharging post here, and then you'd be able to charge the truck and the trailer. Trailer can do about 150 kilowatt charging. It's 10 to 80 in about 40 minutes, which is almost identical to the 10 to 80 time on the Cybertruck under most circumstances. So it's designed to kind of match most electric trucks' towing parameters and also their range. So as you're road tripping 10 to 80%, if you can find stations where you can charge both, it would be great. Now, in this case, it's a huge supercharger, so you would be able just to come up here and kind of be an idiot and block all of these, of course, and there's still 50 other stalls that people could plug into. So, you know, there is a use case in which you can plug both in at the same time, but stations do need to start building, let alone just for trailering, but now electric trailers, taking that into account for future site design. So just something to think about for network charge point operators out there. So Ben, great experience coming down here, met some Tesla owners who were interested. I imagine that happens all the time.
Yeah, you draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Especially Tesla owners with kids.
Yeah, this is the place for it.
So let's turn TrekDrive on.
Sure.
And so what actually happens when you go from, is it standby mode, storage mode to road mode? What physically is happening?
The main things are, there's a bunch going on. From a communication standpoint, you are sending a signal to the central vehicle control unit, which then talks over a CAN network to our power system controller. The power system controller tells the battery pack, the HV high voltage battery pack, to close its contactors to let voltage out of the battery. And then additionally, that same power system controller, which is an in-house design, tells another set of contactors, switches, to let that voltage into the drive unit. So you'll hear a series of contactors click, click back there. Yep. And then everything's engaged. The motor is not on a clutch disconnect, it's an electrical disconnect. Right. So once you're all hooked up, you're good. Yep. And how does it actually, my understanding is, we're going to see how it feels when you come through 70 miles an hour and it backs off TrekDrive. Is it just full power and then boom, you're disconnected, or does it slowly curtail the power? I think similar to what you felt in Broomfield, it'll fade.
Okay,
It won't.
perfect.
You won't like lose it all at once.
Yep, that'll be smart.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll hit road mode, and then once it's all connected, you'll give me the okay.
So it says, all right, do I want to change my vehicle mode? Say yes. Am I using
120 volt loads are disabled.
Right. So in this mode, one good distinction to keep in mind between the three modes, if you're technically minded, is that in storage mode you don't have high voltage and you don't have AC power. In camp mode you have both. In road mode you have just high voltage.
Okay.
So you're not inverting.
But the refrigerator will still run off the 12 volt.
It will.
Okay.
It will.
Very cool.
Yep.
And so,
in fact you can still run the HVAC in road mode because it is a combination of 12 volt and high voltage. It's not powered by AC power.
oh, interesting. So you can you can cool it down on the way to the campsite.
Yeah.
Because it runs off the high voltage.
Yep.
That's awesome. I didn't even know about that. That's so cool. What happens though when you open it up? You've got to bring all that hot air in, I guess. But it's still, all the materials are cooled down at that point.
Yeah, it's mostly thermal mass that you have to worry about. So as long as all the materials are pulled down to the temperature that you want, cooling down the extra air volume as you expand it doesn't take that much energy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll hit OK.
Yeah.
And we need to hit yes?
No. So you can see, are you using a Lightship approved weight distribution hitch? And we are not using a weight distribution hitch.
Okay.
We don't have the bars.
That's right.
on.
Yep.
So
So we'll say OK.
Yep.
And now it's engaging, Maryann. You can see here,
Oh,
boom,
screen.
vehicle mode has changed.
And then if you go back out to the home screen, you'll see that.
TrekDrive, well, it is inactive because we're not moving right now.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think we'll see it swap over to active as we
get moving.
begin to drive.
Well, we'll play around with it.
Yeah,
So-
if we don't, we can pull off and
Yep.
troubleshoot.
Sounds great. So off we go then. We will head out of here. Just be mindful not to nick your very nice trailer on anything, which I will not do to you. Not much tail swing with this, but a little bit more than I'm typically used to. Cargo trailers generally have the wheels mounted far back. Travel trailers are a bit more forwards.
Yeah, right.
All right, and we are underway, and here's Alex. Sorry to make you wait outside that whole time, Alex, for us to go. So here we go, off we go, and accelerating. Not feeling TrekDrive.
Yeah, I don't think it's on.
Okay.
now.
Oh, I'm feeling something happened there,
Is it?
but it could be the Cybertruck. No, I think it's the trailer.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think I actually felt a little difference in the back seat back here.
yeah, it kind of came off the rear there. I'm
Yes,
pretty
that's
sure.
what I think it is.
It's possible that it should slip up.
Because I had one throttle position set. Now Tesla will do sort of
Yeah.
acceleration target by throttle position.
Yeah, I think it might be off.
It's possible. We'll find a good spot to flip around on one of these side roads and try to get it officially on. So we'll be back with the viewers here momentarily. So we're having some issues getting TrekDrive on, but we're also having left turn signal and left brake light issues as well. So we're gonna go back to the track, see if there's an issue with the 7-pin, try it on another vehicle, and then get back to testing. Whoop. Working on figuring out what's going on with the connector. We have like a turn signal problem with Cybertruck, I think, interfacing with the Lightship properly, and so we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and then we'll get back to trying TrekDrive. So no problem with TrekDrive on the Rivian. So can we see what the tablet looks like there?
Yes, well, it's going to show you more when you're actually driving.
Okay.
But on this screen
if we go to the
specifically-
main, so you can see the discharging power flow, but this says TrekDrive inactive. That's just because you're not moving at the
Correct.
moment.
So once you're actually moving down the road, you're above that minimum threshold of about 15 miles an hour, then that will turn to active. And that's one way you'll know. And then the other way is over in this energy settings. You'll actually be able to see how many kilowatts you're putting out right there on the screen.
Okay, awesome. So I guess we'll go back to the Halifax supercharger with the Rivian then and get the second half of the video, and hopefully we can fix whatever interop bug that was with the Cyber, because Lightship has towed with the Cyber with no problems in the past, but they do say that, I should say maybe not no problems, the Cyber does some weird signal stuff that they definitely need to account for, and maybe this will be the final sort of dialing in phase to make sure that doesn't happen. Because this thing plus the Cybertruck is just the coolest combination. So let's at least go experience TrekDrive with this on the highway, and that'll be a video, just kind of fun cruising around with it. We have TrekDrive on in road mode, And to make sure for sure that it is on, we're going to go here and we can look at power flow, discharging power. So we'll kind of keep this maybe in this rough area for now, a little makeshift mount, and we will go experience it. So TrekDrive essentially is going to compensate for the drag of the trailer on the electric truck until we are out of high voltage energy.
Right.
But there's also a bottom buffer we could set if we wanted to, right?
You can set a discharge limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just right there.
Right, so we have it set to go all the way to 0 and charge to 95%, so just a little safety buffer up there. So now we're on and we're working. Really hope we can get the Cybertruck to work with this. It sounds like it was some 12-volt weird signal that was being sent.
Yeah.
So
some combination of the 12-volt and the brake signal.
Okay.
Which
So
has been tricky for us on the Cybertruck. We got an awesome service guy on the way.
Cool. Nothing that can't be solved, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So gates opening up. We are heading out in the Rivian dual motor max performance.
Not performance.
Non-performance.
Just max.
Okay. So it just got sport mode updated then recently.
How's that? Same?
Yeah, I think even the non-performance has got sport mode.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm accelerating, constant throttle position. We're coming through 17 miles an hour, and Wolf, you feel that push come from behind? That's all TrekDrive doing its thing back there, which is a really cool experience. 75 kilowatts of power.
That's pretty much full.
That was full gas on the back.
Yeah.
And I can feel an extra regen on the rear as well, and it's pretty snappy experience. I'm going to take it out later this week and just kind of feel its response time and get a sense of what happens when you really start, loading this thing up in some interesting situations, simulating maybe a twisting back road, which we can do by going around the track. So we're all loaded up, and I'm curious about how this thing feels cruising down the highway with TrekDrive. We just check to make sure our trailer brakes are set. We are. And so it uses the tow rig to get you moving. And then once you come through about 15, 16, between 15 and 20, it really starts pushing from the rear. You can see the Rivian kind of compensate by backing down the vehicle power because you're getting the same level of acceleration.
Yeah, I think I've told you in the past, like I said.
Yeah, just I don't know what it is.
We have done a couple of engineering builds where TrekDrive was active and supplying torque from 0 miles per hour. And it actually feels really good too, because it feels like you've got it all right from the start. With our first release to the public, or to our owners of the TrekDrive system, we were a little more conservative. So we sort of only allowed it to work within a speed band. But we'll be making updates over time as we get more and more experience with what people actually like, open up the envelope in different ways.
You need an out of spec menu in there to see all the nerd data.
Absolutely.
Just hold that portion of the tablet for 10 seconds and it'll let you in.
For all posterity.
Yeah.
We now know.
Cool. Yep. Is that the way to get into the nerd menu? Do you have a nerd menu yet?
It actually is. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You should just call it out of spec mode.
Okay. Okay. You hear that? Hear that, Nishan?
Yeah, we need to make sure that happens for the folks watching from Lightship. It's also an interesting back-to-back comparison between Rivian and Cyber, the different tow experiences. Cyber feels so much more substantial than this thing. Rivian's awesome to tow, don't get me wrong. I love my Rivian, but Cybertruck almost feels like it's better suited for this type of towing experience. And we don't necessarily need to go down to Halifax. I guess we can just go the other direction. We'll go up north, because we're just getting a sense of what it feels like on flat highway. So let's head onto the highway and see how TrekDrive feels cruising. I am curious about the acceleration on the on-ramp, so we'll just kind of gently bring it up to speed. Especially around a corner with it pulling. It feels sporty.
Yeah, you got something there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going medium to medium and a bit throttle, and we are boogieing right up to speed. So we'll kind of get it settled in on this area before I get super used to it. Just take it nice and gentle, but instantly awesome. Now, if we go, this is a Gen 2 Rivian, if we go steady state 65 miles an hour cruising.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, curious to see what its power consumption is, steady state 55.
This makes sense. 15 to 20 is normally what we see.
Yeah, 15 to 20 kilowatts. Okay. Yeah, it's sitting right at 20. Now, we do have a bit of a tailwind in this direction, to be fair, but it's not too major right now. We'll bump it up to 70 now. Still feels great on the highway to tow. No major problems. We got up to 73 kilowatt power output. That's pretty much everything it can do, right?
Yeah, it's an 80 kW unit.
Okay, got it. And here at 70 miles an hour, we're at about 30. We are going uphill, but it's outputting about 30 kilowatts. Once we crest this, let's see what happens. Yep. Well, once we get to about here, we should be on flat ground. And there we are.
Take it back down.
Yeah, 21-ish. Yep, 22 kilowatts. But here you are cruising down the road. You've got your pulling force offset behind you. Feels awesome. Feels very stable, to be honest. Like, it feels really cool. This has got to be a cool view. Love that. With the AE1 in tow. We just need to get it to work with the Cyber, and that sounds like that's a real possibility this afternoon.
I'm confident.
Okay, very cool. And we're golden. So we're using about 25 kilowatts to just crest this little hill. It'll back down as we go downhill, and if we come, so it's actually still outputting power here at 72 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It should discharge, stop at around 70 trailer speed. Rivians are always a bit optimistic.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna walk it up 1 mile an hour at a time and see how it feels. So here, still outputting. Let's bump it to 74, which this should bring us through 70. Huh. There we are, down to 7 kilowatts and probably backing its way down to not much. No, it's still outputting 10. Yeah, bring it up here to 75. Man, if this thing works up here at these speeds, that's cool with me.
Yeah.
No complaints. Maybe they shut off the max speed limiter.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Because we're cruising 75 on the display here, and it's still output. So that's very cool. I'll just kick it off because we're going to take this exit and flip around up here. So as we start regenning, we're going to see power going back into the trailer.
Yep.
As we make this exit right here.
We got a steady, 25, 35.
Should really load up right here.
Yeah.
36 kilowatt regen, 67 kilowatt regen. Alex, what's your impression?
That's pretty awesome.
From your perspective, Alex, is there anything you would do differently with this system?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean,
It's really well thought out.
yeah, it seems like it's pretty well thought out with, the way that it's implemented to do the assist.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like that it works across many different models. And so far, coming in and out of the assist at low speed at least, I haven't noticed any weird jerking or weird movement, which is very similar to the first time that I was able to experience this Lightship driving it in Colorado. But again, here driving it on local roads, it's just cool because I come here all the time. You just feel it rocket up this hill.
Yeah. Yeah, we have talked about doing kind of different drive modes, so different levels of aggressiveness.
Yeah.
So you could have it be really smooth and kind of tender, or
The braking just feels awesome with that regen.
yeah.
The I guess you would kind of want to have a sport mode for like actual merging performance, and one to just get the most amount of range. So just deploy it where it helps get better vehicle efficiency. Might be worth it.
There's a lot we can do with this. We've talked about, for instance, having kind of like dynamically adaptive modes where, depending on how aggressively you are driving, how aggressive the accelerations are, we modulate how aggressive the trailer behaves. Because, for instance, you don't have to get the force on the hitch all the way to 0. you could just lessen the pulling force if you wanted it to be a little more gentle.
So I'm trying to see what the max speed we can go for this thing to cut off. So that's 75. Still outputting there. I just felt it cut off 77 on the display, and it cut off nicely.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And now we're back into the zone that it should reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely feel a little judder. You know that you're no longer getting pushing force. It gave power to the end, but it didn't upset the vehicle dynamics at all in that particular scenario.
Yep.
So that was pleasing. It's a pretty wide trailer. It's 8.5 feet wide. It's max DOT. And the Cybertruck mirrors are instantly way better than the Rivian mirrors about seeing around this thing. So I think if you plan on towing this with a Rivian, do consider getting tow mirror extensions. It'll hurt your range, but you will be able to see around the trailer. For example, here, unless we're going around this left bend, it's actually fairly difficult for me to see upcoming traffic. Again, nothing to do with the trailer. I will take the widest trailer possible. You might run into issues in Tennessee with an 8.5 foot wide. They have some weird regulations in that particular state, so just check before you go there. But yeah, for sure, like Cyber and this thing feel like it's a match made in heaven. It's really cool.
It did feel good.
Yeah, for sure. So that's TrekDrive. Maryann, you're behind the camera. Really curious what your impressions are. I know you probably can't feel much as a passenger, but what do you think?
I love the concept. I really can't tell you're towing anything back there, so that's a good thing because it feels normal. Great to see it doing what it's doing and making the towing more efficient. It's the first time I've been in a Rivian moving. Okay, now I've been in a Rivian before, so I'm trying and I'm distracted by Rivian stuff, I guess, especially where the camera location is for the rear camera.
Yeah, you can move it around, so I can pull up the front camera or the back.
Okay, but there's an up higher camera, and that's the one that has my attention, which is allowing you to really see the beauty of towing, Lightship behind you.
Yeah, it's a really cool camera view, especially while towing this. And I wonder if that message will ever clear. But ultimately, feels awesome with this, no question. Wild going Cyber to Rivian. I haven't done that in a while. Cyber's really freaking awesome. That kind of reiterates how nice of a highway cruiser that Cybertruck is.
Yeah.
And how much better the new one is than my old Cybertruck. So, with that said, that's our TrekDrive. We're going to get one last regen.
It's a cool view as well.
Yeah, you can definitely see the efficiency on the highway being right around 2 miles per kilowatt hour, 1.9, I'd say. It's 1.67, but a lot of that is from back moseying around the track too. So we'll do all the instrumented testing over on the Out of Spec testing channel. You guys can take a look at that. We'll summarize everything on the reviews channel. We'll take it on a road trip on the motoring channel. We'll do more cooking and other random stuff on the Bits channel. We'll do my dad's review on Dave and Kathy Unplugged. We've got so much to do. You'll see today's experiences with Don and Maryann on our Tesla Model X journey. What other channels should we plug? Alex will do probably a serviceability review. I'd like him to look up underneath this thing and just take a look at it for the Renew channel. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Thank you, Ben, for bringing it out here.
It is my pleasure. Really.
And I'm glad we got to experience it. I will certainly update everyone if we're able to get it working with the Cybertruck. Whether or not it's this week, I don't know, but we will. I mean, it's designed to work with the Cybertruck. We'll get it there. You'll get it there, and we'll film it as soon as we're able to. And maybe it'll be as soon as today. Maybe it'll be next week. Who knows? But we'll hopefully see it all working perfectly. Now, in just our drive here, roughly, I'd say 10 miles or so, we brought the trailer from about 86% to 80%.
Yep. All right.
Yep. So pretty cool experience, really fun, just a little refresher course on towing it. I feel comfortable with the unit, especially with the Rivian. This is a great 2-vehicle solution right here. And I can't wait to start getting to work with this thing. We'll tow it with the R1S as well. I know there's a lot of R1S owners that are curious about how it feels behind that vehicle. So I'll be towing it with Scott's R1S, and plenty of content to come. Maryann, thank you so much for letting us use your Cybertruck and you bringing it all the way up here.
Oh, it was our pleasure.
And that was just so cool. So we'll hopefully get it working on there. We'll get it back hooked up and get it towing. But just driving like this up the road, you just feel that extra force behind you. And it's really cool. It's a wild feeling. So thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Bits episode. So much content to come with the Lightship over the next few days. Many days, I guess. So thanks again, Ben. And we'll see you all in another one again soon. Bye-bye.